You can't get ahead if you never get started. And how do you get started if you don't know how? Hi, my name is Freeman Linde. I'm a certified financial planner and tax expert, and I help people all the time to retire successfully and stay successfully retired. And we are in the middle of, or just about to, just really embarking on a few-week course here on how to create a financial plan. Whether you're trying to create your own or you're looking for someone to create one for you, you'll need to know what are the components of creating a financial plan, how do we do this, and how do you become successful at finances through the process of financial planning. So we started last week and we covered the 5 C's of creating a financial plan, 5 different C's, words that start with C, that you need or that the person you need that you're going to hire to do this for you will need in order to create a good financial plan. So if you haven't seen that one yet, go back to last week and find and watch that episode. And before we really jump into the components of financial planning, there's one thing that I think we just need to do that make all the other steps more possible, right? And so again, if you are a DIYer, you're really trying to get started doing your own financial planning, or you're looking for someone to do it, either way, you're going to need to do at least some of these steps. And so let's jump right into it here. Really, if you want to get ahead, you got to get going, right? And so the way that we talk about it is the Go Net Flow framework, where we're going to build a foundation that allows you to do everything else that you're going to want to do in your finances. So what do we mean by this? Go stands for get organized. We want to know where everything is, and we want to be able to access it quickly. If everything's scattered, if you got accounts everywhere, information everywhere, it's very hard to get organized and get a plan going. The net stands for net worth, right? Which is just, again, a snapshot in time. Where are we right now? What do we have, and where is all of it? We'll talk about all these in depth. And then flow, cash flow, right? Where is your income coming in, and where is it going out? And so the Go Net Flow, that's what that stands for: get organized, net worth, and cash flow. And so once we do all this, everything else is going to become much easier. And so I want to walk you through some practical ways that you can get this done. So step number 1, get organized, right? This is where we want to get control of everything we have in our lives and put it all in one place so that we have quick and easy access to it and make sure that we're doing all the things that we need to do. So first thing we want to do is organize our accounts. And one of the best and easiest way to do this in the modern era here is to just use account aggregation software, single dashboard that keeps track of everything you have all in one place. You know, some of you might log into your Vanguard accounts and then your bank accounts and then your 401k and all these things, right? And you're logging into all these different places. Well, it's much easier if you have all your accounts organized in one place. So I recommend eMoney if you really want a great place to do it. So eMoney is the financial planning software we use, really powerful on the advisor side, on the financial planner side. But the client side, would be your side, is actually very helpful as well. And what's nice is you can get it for free. We pay the big mega subscription through the firm, and then we can generate these eMoney sites for as many people as we want to. It's completely ad-free, right? They're not constantly pitching you products. So it's free to you. You don't have to pay anything. You're not constantly getting pitched products like you used to with some of the other free ones out there. And then you can just connect all of your accounts, bank accounts, retirement accounts, IRAs, all these different things right in there, right? And so I want to quickly actually just give you, let's see here, what is this one? Nope, not that one. We'll find it. Here we go. So this is what it looks like. This is the actual eMoney site on your side. So this is Chuck and Diane. This is obviously a fake person. Doesn't exist. No one's name. Last name is client. But this is what it looked like when you log in. You would see all your stuff in one place. Again, this is just a dummy account, so I haven't really built this out all the way. But you could have your cash accounts, bank accounts, that type of stuff in the first thing. Any credit cards, again, you can just sync credit cards. So if you've got, a Chase card, you can type in here and search Chase, and then it'll have you just continue on and log in, and then it'll sync all your cards over. If you've got, a Capital One high yield savings account, you can put that in here, Capital One. See, I might not even have to type the 1 in here. Let's find out. There it is, Capital One right there. You can just sign in and connect all that. It'll pull all your accounts in daily, so it's always has all your stuff all in one place. Taxable accounts, so if you got, again, non-retirement brokerage accounts, investment accounts, you put those in there. And then your tax advantage, right? So I've got some examples in here. And so this would be IRAs, 401ks, Roth IRAs. Again, you can say, you could go in here, and I've got a bunch in here, right? So these are not currently linked, but if you had an account at Schwab, you could just, there it is, Charles Schwab, even suggest it for you. And you could continue on and link that straight in there. You could add in Vanguard, Fidelity 401k, whatever you have, and puts it all in one place. then you can add your loans, your insurance, properties, all that other stuff, right? From there, it's going to a couple other things that it has. It does have this organizer where you can note the specific people and stuff in your life if you want. If we've done work on our side, and you can even do some of this on your side, the cool thing is it'll even show you kind of where you're at in your plan. It gives you a good profile of the things that you have, income and assets, what do we have and where is it going? It gives you a balance sheet, so we'll talk about this in a second. And then lastly, this cool retirement snapshot. It gives you a probability of success right away, but then more importantly, some interesting things, right, where you can see, hey, if we've got salary for a while, if we retire, then where's our, we got a Social Security base, we've got withdrawals, RMDs, all these different things coming in, so it does a really good job of doing all that. You can then, there's this Explore tab. This will allow you to make changes to that thing that we just saw and do some things there. We can do a lot more on our side, but it allows you to do a little bit there. It'll track all your spending. I can't show it to you in here because as an advisor, I can't see that, but so unless you enable it on your side, but it can do that. It can show you all your investments. It can show you, it's got a vault where you can save stuff if you want to, and then a whole bunch of different reports and stuff that you could generate as well, like a balance sheet, cash flow, etc. So really handy. Again, as you can see, 0 banner ads, nothing in here. So you can have access to this for free if you want. There's a link in the description if you want to request access to this. We will send it to you. It's free through our firm here. And we'll just leave you alone. If you want our help with any of that, you can, right? On our side, if I click sign out of the client side, I can see it on mine. And then we can see your stuff in here. We can go in and we can make some really cool planning things. I've shared some of this, some of my other videos and workshops and whatnot. But the really cool thing on our side is that once we load this up, we have what's called the Decision Center, and it will, show, hey, if you do nothing else, what's your likely outcome, right? From here to here, right? And so for them, they got a lot of money, they're retired, their accounts just grow, and they're going to die with more money than they start with, right? It's not going to be worth that by the time we get that far out into their 90s, so we can adjust this, and they're still living on the gains, right? And then we can look at things like cash flow. Again, these are some of the views you can see on your side as well. But one of the things that we can do really easily, you can say, hey, this looks great, except for we got all these RMDs, which are kicking you way out. And so what if we did some tax planning? We can make some changes over here, do this, that, and the other thing. And now, hey, maybe you'd spend more here in the front end of retirement, but you'd spend less long term, right? And then you would go back to your hey, what does that do overall? Well, hey, obviously if we do a bunch of conversions, pay a bunch of taxes early on, we end up with less money, but we'll end up with more long term, right? So we can, again, help you see a lot of things on your side, but even if you don't want to do any of that, you can certainly get organized and see all your stuff in one place on your side, which is pretty handy, okay? So I would just organize all your accounts in one place rather than trying to find them all elsewhere. Just suck them all in, connect them all, and that's a really good place to do it. There's other services that do that as well, but that's the one I'd recommend. And then lastly, we still have a lot of files, right? So how do we organize that? Again, there's so many people that have so many papers everywhere, and it all gets very confusing. I honestly recommend that you just use OneDrive. It's my favorite. I've been using it for years and years and years personally. And so I like OneDrive. It is built into Windows, right? So if you have a Windows PC computer, great, it's built right in. But even if you're on Mac, I'm on Mac, and I use OneDrive. How about that, huh? Not iCloud, I use OneDrive. And you can get it for free on Mac. I think you get like 5 gigabytes free if you're just on a base free subscription. Otherwise, you can get a terabyte with any other. So there's plenty of space, lots of storage in there. And then the other really cool thing is you can scan in your documents that you have. If you're getting things still in paper, you can just scan those in and be rid of all those paper. So check this out, right? So let's say you've got a W-2 statement that comes around tax season. And I think actually real quick, let's go back to one of the things that I suggest in here is 5 folders that you need, right? An investments folder, an insurance folder, a tax folder, an employer folder, and an estate planning folder. If you get a OneDrive account, you build all those folders right in there, and then that'll kind of give you all the ones that you need, right? So what does that look like? Again, you got your OneDrive. This is on the computer. Or on the phone. I could show it to you on a computer as well. But you got your financials, right? There's your 5 documents. So I'm going to click on tax. That's going to open that up. And then I've got this W-2 document, right, that I don't want to have to hold on to. I don't want to have to drop it off anywhere. Well, inside of here, you can hit this little blue button on the bottom. Then you can hit capture. Might be some updates to this app by the time you use it, but it should be about the same, right? Then I can just hover, right? I'm just hovering my phone right above the document. It's going to put these white boxes around it. I'm just going to take a photo. If I had more, I could hit this little plus button with the camera down there at the bottom and it would add more. Otherwise, and if it doesn't do it perfectly, I can grab these little dots and I can, there we go, line it up perfectly, review and edit, and there we go. That's a nice, clean document, right? I could upload that to my tax preparer, which, funny enough, is us. This is a blank one, obviously, so it doesn't have a lot, but I could easily read any information that's on here. It's a really clean, crisp way to do that, right? And so I could rename, and I could say W2 2026. There we go. And then that's right into the tax folder. And that will show right up in there in just a moment. There it is. And from there, I could always share this one folder or this one document. I could share the entire folder. So if I uploaded a bunch of tax documents, I could share the whole thing. Anyways, there's just lots of ways to easily keep things organized all in one place. If I was downloading things, we could download them straight into there as well. And it's just a great way to, whether you're Windows, Mac, doesn't matter. It's a great service. And again, like I've said, I've used it for over a decade, personally, professionally. It's super secure. I really like it. So that's always my recommendation for people if you're trying to organize your files, is to get OneDrive. Get these 5 folders. You can download stuff into them, scan things into them, keep your life free of clutter, and just put it all in there. So let's see here. After that, you'll want to stuff you kind of get organized, right? You know where everything is, right? You've saved your insurance into the insurance folders. You've got investments either aggregated into your software or like the most recent statement downloaded from each place. Your taxes are all organized. If you've got your estate plan, you've got that saved into your estate plan file. If you don't, done some episodes about that real recently, so you shouldn't have to go back too far to find those. And you can get all that again just saved and organized. So number 2, right, go net flow would be to determine your net worth, right? And of course, net worth is what you own minus what you owe, right? So everything you own, all of your accounts, investments, home, all that stuff, subtract out mortgage, student loans, all that thing, and that will give you your net worth, right? And you want it to be positive and you want it to be growing, right? So you don't have a negative net worth. It means you literally owe more money than you have. And so you want it to be positive and you want it to be growing. You want to keep out year over year on average to get higher and higher, especially if you're in the accumulation phase, right? And again, if you're using e-money, all this stuff is just calculated for you automatically, right? I'll go back and show you the example. Yeah, bear with me one second as I go back in here, preview portal. And so if you were in here, when you first get in, they give you this little demo, which I'm just gonna skip for now, or a little walkthrough that helps you learn the system. When you first get in here, right, then again, we can go reports, and we can go balance sheet. And it's just going to generate it. And again, I don't have a lot in here, but it has assets, liabilities. It would put all those in there, and it would just tell you, hey, what is your net worth, right? What is it, each of you? What is it, joint? All those things. And so this makes it really easy to do that. If you've already done all the work of the first step, then this step becomes super easy, right? And that's why we say, like, on the front end, the more work you do on the front end, the easier everything else gets. And if you do all this stuff in this episode, all the rest of the steps become way easier. So don't skip this stuff. This is foundational for doing good financial planning. So we want to determine your net worth, where are we at now? That way we know a starting point and we can know where we need to get to. And whether it's paying down debt on the liability side, right, lowering the liabilities or increasing the assets, either way, you'll get more of a positive net worth, and we'll want to increase that. Then lastly, we'll want to understand your cash flow, right? Where is the go net flow? What is your cash flow? And what money's coming in, what money's going out? It's kind of like breathing, right? You do it all the time. You always have income coming in, and you always have outflow going out, right? And so what are we doing? So again, a couple things just to remember, and so we're all on the same page. Gross income is the total income you earn before any taxes, before anything is taken out of your pay. Net income then is your income minus all the taxes that you pay, federal, state, Social Security, Medicare, all those different deductions that come out. That's your net income. But then you also have take-home pay, right? What actually hits your bank account after your other things, like your contributions and deductions if you're still working, or other types of things. Even if you're retired, sometimes you have things other than taxes coming out. And so we want to understand, hey, what's our take-home pay? What are we actually spending? All right, and again, you can save pay stubs straight into your folders, in your employer folder in OneDrive. Once you've gotten that, so a lot of us, we just see our pay stub, we see our direct deposit, the amount we get paid, but we don't see the full pay stub. We don't look at it very often. Take a moment, download it into your OneDrive, take a look and see, hey, what am I making gross? What are we making net? What is our take-home pay? And then we want to just track our spending. If you're, let me say this, right? If you're doing everything you need to do, you know what your financial plan is, you're rocking and rolling, you're saving enough, you've already saved enough, you're financially secure, you know you're already hitting all your financial goals, you don't need to track your spending. You don't need a budget, you're already successful, whatever else, right? But if you're not there, then maybe one of the things we need to do is to get get a better handle on our cash flow. And to do this is one really good step, and you don't have to track your spending forever, but understanding in a snapshot what is my spending can be really helpful. Right? And so again, this is really easy if you are just using eMoney. Because you can connect your bank accounts, it'll pull transactions in, it'll automatically categorize them, and then it'll just tell you, hey, out of everything you spent for a month, this is the breakdown of it, right? You have to tell it, hey, it might see a certain vendor and it doesn't know what it is, and so you have to tell it what category that's in. So hey, Woodman's is grocery. If you're up here in the La Crosse area, right? Or whatever your local grocery store is, right? The national brand that is eMoney might now know what that is. So you'd categorize it, right? Hey, this is this random transaction here, that's a gas station. But after you do that once, it then knows that and it'll automatically categorize those transactions next time. And it'll just give you a really good breakdown of where did all your money go, right? You have gross, then someone after taxes, then you have net, someone after deductions, you have take-home pay, and then where did all that go, right? Because sometimes you look back and you say, wow, I made X per year gross, and I have very little to show for it at the end. Where is that going? All right, so want to track it for at least 2 months. 1 month can just kind of be odd, doesn't really give you all the insights. A second month or even a third month can really give you the patterns that we're looking for to see what is actually happening, right? And again, this is purely an awareness phase, right? You're not trying to reduce anything. You don't have to look at things and try to cut back right away. We're just trying to see, hey, where is our money going, right? Clarity is worth way more than any budget spreadsheet. We just want to know. We just want to know where our money is going so that we can make better decisions later on. All right, and so again, if we want to have a good financial plan, if we want to be successful financially, it starts with planning, right? Those who fail to plan to fail. And so we want to do our financial planning, and the best way to do that is to get started, get organized, track your net worth, track your cash flow, and that way you have a strong base to build off of as we jump into all what some people think are the more fun parts of financial planning. So nothing proves, right, if we don't take action. If you hear all this and you do nothing, then it'll be like you didn't hear any of it and you just wasted the last however many minutes we've been going, right? So we want to do something with this, and so take some time, right? Make it a date night if you're married. Set some time on the calendar. Pour yourselves a glass of wine and dig in, log into all your things, pull everything out, connect your stuff, make sure that you can get this done, right? And so connect your accounts. You can always, again, right now, one action step you can do right now would be to click the link in the description and request access to eMoney. You can also use, obviously, there's a bunch of other ones if you don't want to use ours. Totally fine. Connect all your stuff, see where you are at. Takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it, right? Organize your files. Get OneDrive. If you already got a good system, use that, right? If you already use Google Drive or whatever else, use it if you actually use it. If you don't really use any digital filing storage, then take my suggestion, right? Organize all those things. And then lastly, you can also take, of course, our financial planning score quiz, which is should be down in the description. That'll also just give you a good look at, hey, where am I at now? And then all this becomes the base of how do we create a good financial plan, which we'll be covering in the next few weeks. So hopefully this has been somewhat helpful to you, kind of a more tactical episode on what to do, and I look forward to kind of walking you through all the other great aspects of creating a financial plan: investments, insurance, taxes, retirement, estate planning, all those different main categories. We'll walk you through how we create financial plans with all those things from, again, a certified financial planner, tax expert, someone who regularly walks people to and through retirement. So we'll see you next week. Hopefully you'll subscribe so you catch the rest of those episodes, and see you then. Cheers.